Mission Pro Wrestling, the symbol of excellence in women's sports entertainment.
Buenas noches, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mission Pro Spotlight. I am Myndrunner, or as Thunder Rosa likes to call me, Myndrunner. But with me is one of my favorite co-hosts. I love to bring her back. It's time for some Hola Hola time. Nahir Robles, welcome back. Hola Hola.
I love this entrance. Can I have it?
Absolutely, and it's going to become like that's going to be like the new Stone Cold Shattered Glass, but with the opposite. It's like here comes a happy ass kicking.
I love it so much. It's
you're
so
gonna get your ass
funny.
kicked. You're gonna feel great about it. Anyways, how are you doing?
I'm good. Just I feel like I'm still I feel like I live on a forever jet lag.
Oh,
This weekend was crazy. I had 3 matches, 2 in Massachusetts, 1 in Arizona. So I finally had my Arizona debut.
nice. And
Which
there was one match I wanted to talk about really quickly. This was kind of a bucket list match, I think, for you too. But I don't know if this helped the jet lag at all, or if this hurt. But your match with Megan Bayne in Worcester, how was that facing the Megasis?
ooh, I'm still getting chills. Like, I've seen a lot of Megan Bayne matches. Like, I'm gonna be straight up. Ever since I found out about her, I've been a fan. Like, I think she has a look. I think she has a style. I think the aura when she comes into a ring. And it's funny. This is the second time I'm actually at Wrestling Open, and ironically, we were the same 4 girls when I went there last time. Allie Catch, Gabby Forza, Megan Bayne, and me. We just switched up the matches. It was so cool, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I've seen a lot of Megan Bayne matches, like, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna switch up and rewrite the book.
Ooh. Okay.
She's taller than me. She's strong, and I'm not proud of it, but the only way I would have had any advantage in that match would have been if I was a little sleazy at first.
Oh, I see.
So,
Almost you get some. Eddie Guerrero said, "If you're not cheating, you're not trying." So I don't know, but
I mean, is it really cheating? I just hit her before the match started when she took off her robe. Is it really cheating?
No, not before. Not until the bell rings. When the bell
Exactly.
rings, it's off air game. Hey, Miranda Alizé, the Lucha Baddie, taught us that. She last at MPW Mania when she took out Denise Day. Before the match. That's definitely. By the way, we got some love from Puerto Rico. Gerardo, hola, hola, support from Puerto Rico. You've got you Ali got to check Nahir's title defense. Oh, at Espirito Pro. Great match and promo. You got fans, some love right there. Hola, hola.
So much.
And of course, Brian. With the Nahir has the best smile in the business. I have to agree. Such a great smile. Now, this promo for you and Megan Bayne reminded me of another promo picture I saw from MPW Mania. Miranda Alizé versus Denise Day. Here on the right, you've got Denise Day, big smile, all happy, ready, eager for the match.
Oh my God, I can definitely see it. I'm like, oh my God.
And I'm looking at Megan Bayne, and it's like, here's super excited to be here. La Chica del Hola Hola. And then you've got Megan Bayne just looking like,
She's like side. I feel like they purposely chose this picture. Like she's just side eyeing me. Like who is she? And I love it so much. It's so funny.
So how did it go? And what did you learn? What did you take away from this match aside from maybe a few bruises and?
Oh yeah, bruises. Yeah, I got those. I learned the hard way. Back home, I'm actually one of the taller and stronger girls, but I've never ever faced someone quite like Megan Bayne.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know the meme, like, and in that moment, I knew I effed up. Yeah, that happened. So I tried to German suplex her.
Ooh.
And that's when I got reverse Uno carded, and she threw back the receipts at me.
Reverse.
I had the upper hand almost the entire match. I made one rookie mistake.
Oh, I guess you won't make that again.
Never again.
Oh,
and,
my goodness.
I got bamboozled at the end. She beat me with her signature tombstone at the end.
Oof. Ooh, how's your neck?
It has had better days.
Well, I hope you can rest up. And the other two, and tell us a little bit about your other two matches. You had your debut in Arizona.
I wrestled for Sonoran. I'm so bad with like pronunciations. I told you I suck at pronunciations. Like I feel like you're gonna see me like on YouTube looking for city so I can say the name correctly.
Well,
so I think Sonoran Championship Wrestling.
As long as you don't make fun of my Spanish, because I habla español, chico de la playa.
It's perfect. It's perfect. You're fine.
Nosotros juegamos. I don't know.
Mofongo. If you say mofongo, we're fine.
All right, mofongo. All right, there we go.
And pegao.
Pegao. That's right. Not what was it? We learned
not
last time you were here.
Pegao.
Nope. No con. Pegao.
Pegao.
Yes. There we go. We got it. Also, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, tell us about Arizona and how was that? And like Arizona's a dry heat versus Puerto Rico.
Yeah, so I'm used to humidity, and then I got to Arizona, and I remember I sent my best friend a picture, like on the airport, and I'm like, how do you know you're in Arizona? You see cactus on the airport. That was like the first thing I saw, and I'm like, oh my God, and then I had my debut. By the way, something I forgot completely, the time zone difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of out of it, but I pulled through. My match was against Sassy. She's from Arizona. She's strong. Again, this was from Strong Lady Weekend. I'm not even joking.
Strong Lady Weekend.
She's strong, big. She's a muscle mommy. I wrestle muscle mommies this weekend, like no doubt in my mind. This was for the tournament for their championship. Unfortunately, my match ended up in a DQ because Sassy loved to interfere in another match. And that girl, she cost the opportunity. She decided to bring the receipt, and so she hit me. So I won the match by DQ, but like I don't like getting things handed to me.
Yeah.
So I was very frustrated, to say the least.
Nobody wants to win by DQ, you know.
Nobody.
Like that's just such a cheap cop out, you know. It's yeah. But speaking of which, we do want to talk about a certain match that almost ended in a DQ, where the champion would have retained. But we're going to get to that in a little bit. A certain cosplayer who thinks Thunder Rosa's #1 cosplayer showed up. I think. We'll talk about that in a second. Well, we've got some awesome news. It was revealed on a Mission. It was revealed when the new poster for Heatwave came out. Ladies and gentlemen, I am super stoked to show you all the poster for Heatwave for Mission Pro August 17th. I noticed a little smile over here on the right side of this
let me see if I can recreate it.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, wait, this is the side.
Yeah, the side. There it is. There it is right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, her Mission Pro debut on Saturday, August 17th. Super excited to see you. This is going to be so awesome. I don't know. Is the Mission Pro fam ready to see La Chica del Hola Hola in action? I know the answer is yes. Any word on your opponent, or do you have who are your top 3 that you'd like, that you have your eyes on for heat wave? I mean, obviously Izzy, the new champion.
I'm
Anybody in particular?
conflicted. I'm super conflicted because I've seen Izzy. I've met her last year on a big event, and her charisma, she's just the nicest girl, and I'm so glad she became champion. It's been a great journey for her. Like, oh my God, like I mean it.
Yep.
But then I saw somebody in that poster that I've met back in when I started wrestling in Tennessee, and I was so excited when I saw her on the poster as well. Again, it's me with the tall girls. I'm not even kidding.
Are you talking about Queen Uju?
I'm talking about Kel, Rebel Kel.
Oh, interesting. Oh, so do you have a feeling that might be, because we have a lot of talent here. We've got Mia Friday as well. You got Rebel
I've
Kel.
seen her as well.
You got London
Again,
Dior.
it's so hard to pick just from one, but like known faces, I saw Izzy, I saw Kel, and I was very excited. I've never got like to be in the ring with neither of them. I mean, to me, any opponent there would be like just a wild, fun card for me to see what I can be capable of bringing to the table with so many different people there.
Absolutely. Well, I think anybody is going to be an awesome matchup, and I'd love to see it. I know you're going to. They better do their homework with La Chica del Hola Hola, because they're not going to be
homework.
I mean,
I'm as soon as they pop the person, I'm gonna be like,
go to the tape. And that's the thing too. You just got back from a mommy weekend. You just faced a bunch of Amazons, so you're ready for anyone at this point. Let us know in the chat, and the super chats are open as well. We'd love to hear. Let us know in the chat. Who would you like to see Nahir take on? Do you think she should take on Queen Uju? Should she be Shay Carmichael, or maybe Maya World? Because Maya World's been talking
Maya
a
was
lot of
also
trash.
at a Wrestling Open a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. She's been calling out a lot of she's kind of got an open challenge. She's trying to really pad her stats. She's undefeated in the singles competition, and she's looking to continue that. Maybe you could be the one to give her first L in in the singles brackets. Let us know in the chat. But I do want to really quickly go to our. I want to quickly go to our. I clicked the wrong. I clicked the wrong button. There's my Okada impersonation. I want to go to our women's wrestler warrior of the week. And we talked about her already, but we really want to dive a little bit into her history. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mission Pro Spotlight Warrior of the Week is... Gotta give it to Ann New. Ann New, Mission Pro champion. Congratulations, Izzy.
That was so petty, that last sentence.
Wait. Okay. Well,
that was so petty.
It's a highlight. She's already had a longer reign than Jasmine Allure. It's true, right?
That's exactly. Speaking of Jasmine, I wouldn't be surprised if she was the impersonator behind the aftermath of the Thunder Rosa match. I mean, she had it coming, and she said something like that.
She did. It's possible, because we do have the couple. It's interesting too, because the impersonator really made an effort to hide her face. Even with the face paint on. But that could be Jasmine. That is a possibility there. Of course, didn't work out for Thunder Rosa and La Princesa, because for what a lot of people were excited to see was the GM Carolina stepping up and not letting this end in DQ and letting it go further, so that Izzy could get a chance to get that final match and get that final moment that victory moment where she could raise the title and earn it. What were your thoughts in this match? And there were a lot of mixed feelings. A lot of people were afraid that this wasn't that there were so many people behind Izzy going in, but I was very skeptical because I wasn't sure if Izzy was ready to win. But in the match, what are your thoughts? What did you think of Izzy's performance in handling Tiffany? And did we see a different Izzy this time than before?
I think Izzy is the textbook definition of underdog.
Yes.
Less experience, a lot younger, more naive. In comparison to La Princesa, Tiffany Nieves, who has every trick up her sleeve anywhere she goes. So that was like, I believe she's been a solid champion, Tiffany.
Yes.
But I'm also very much looking forward to what Izzy has to offer now that she broke all expectations of her and hit the home run with that win.
Big time.
I'm excited to see the new challenges she comes up ahead. What is she gonna do if she actually ends up, wrestling one of her like actual BFFs, in the ring?
Ooh.
How would that affect her dynamic? Because she's usually just being the underdog against people who have it out for her. So
Absolutely.
I want to see an Izzy that's going to know how to wrestle.
Ooh.
I did not call Tiffany old. I called her experience.
Experience. There you go. Experience, not old. Ooh.
Pistañero. That's so mean.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I knew what you meant. I picked up exactly what you meant. Now,
I feel like I want to know her mentality.
Yeah.
When she comes into the ring for someone that's not out to get her. They're just, everybody wants a little gold on their waist, and that's fine, regardless of who's originally wearing it,
Mm-hmm.
How would her feelings work around matches when it comes to people that they're actual, friends with? Because when it's someone you dislike or has it out for you, it's different. You have a different mindset in the ring. But when it's someone you love, you care about, feelings can come in the way. So I want to see what Izzy is willing to do to stay champion.
Yeah, that you make an excellent point. Of course, you're the Chica del Hola Hola. That's the true test. A lot of people have talked about how Izzy has been tested. There's so many that, oh, you're a rookie. Oh, she had all this spotlight on her when she was a kid at NXT, and then her Izzy, her hot tag with Izzy podcast. So she came into this, but what a lot of people didn't see is the hard work every day she put into her dream. And then as many people that were trying to stomp her down, and she definitely has overcome a lot. But you make an excellent point. The true test is yet to come. Now that she's champion and everyone's gunning for her, even her BFFs now, and that may perhaps, I can't believe I'm doing this, but actually I'm starting to see the wisdom in Thunder Rosa's slap. Because
you're like, oh my God, she has a point.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but did Thunder Rosa see the long game here in teaching Izzy?
She definitely did.
Oh, I think that La Jefa, I think she saw the long term in teaching Izzy that, just like Brian says, no BFFs in wrestling. When your BFF is in the ring against you, they're your opponent. You guys can go get a chocolate fudge sundae after the match. You go to Buc-ee's together holding hands, but in the ring.
Well, that depends, because people might hold grudges. He has a point. I feel like the moment you step into the ring, you have to forget who your friends are, and that's the moment when you have to think about yourself, which kind of, it's hurtful because, friends are supposed to be for life. But if wrestling is your life, there can be like a complication there,
Absolutely. I mean, unless it's a tag team partner, and even then you got to be smart. You can't, you got to make sure that you take care of your partner. But in singles competition, BFFs aren't going to get you the championship. You got to get that. I mean, granted, unless you cheat. And we are going to talk about a match in Scotland where there was a BFF trying to help her friend, but we'll get to that in just a moment. But final thoughts on Izzy, and who would you like to see? Is there anybody specific, and let us know in the chat, who do you think should be Izzy's next opponent? I know Maya World has been talking about, at some point calling her shot because she's got this undefeated streak. Maybe if it's Maya World you face at Heat Wave, maybe you can give her that L and put yourself in contention. Anybody come to mind, or are you just like you said, the BF? You'd like to see her wrestle a BFF to see how she handles it.
I'd like to see her either handling a BFF or a surprise opponent. Again, it's very easy to deal with enemies in the ring, but when it comes to friends, it's a whole lot of complications. And not only that, like if you get a surprise, character in the ring, you're like, oh no, I have not been prepared for this. So I want to see her face like the real challenges, because enemies, we're used to those these days.
Yeah.
I want to see her to her full potential.
She needs to be the next level for testing. I love that. Well, we've got all kinds of stuff to talk about here, and we're going to try to get to everything in women's wrestling. I'd love to see her and talk about Izzy's. But again, shout out to Izzy. Great job. You've reached this level. Golf clap. And then it's time for the next level. And I agree. I'd like to see her take on somebody, one of her BFFs, and see how she handles. But let's get to the women's wrestling news. All right, we got some. Of course, we know this. This is hot news right here. We knew that, and knew the champion. But let's talk a little bit about the breaking news. I don't know if you've seen recently, but on a Mission, it was revealed. Brian Cervantes revealed that the Mission Pro Cup has gone missing, and thanks to Tusslemania, we found on video. We have found the
culprit, the
alleged culprit, because the suspect. We have to say suspect because I guess we can't.
Alleged. Let's just say alleged. But that face. I mean, I don't want to get myself into trouble, but that face looks like you're hiding something.
That is shifty as all get out right there. That's somebody forgot to tell Swiper not to swipe right there.
It looks sketchy. I mean, it's hard to. Yeah. Maybe she was trying to protect the cup. Maybe, it's a wild card here as well.
Yeah, she was trying to protect the cup. That's what she was doing. If you haven't had a chance, go to Mission Pro.
They posted the footage.
Watch the entire footage. She's going around at first asking a bunch of people, including Izzy's mom, if this trophy looks better on her than anybody else. And which, like, you go to Izzy's mom. This is Izzy's real. Look at the disgust in Izzy's mom. She's like, what? And I think this was Denise Day. I couldn't quite catch, but she said the same. She told Denise to get out of her way, and she said, "I'll suplex you if you right here on the concrete." But Matthew says it's Shay's property now. I guess possession is 10/10 of the law. I don't know I don't know how that works. But
Finders keepers law.
Yeah, you finders keepers law. But check out the full content, and I know there's going to be there's already an investigation underway. I know Emily May and Veda, and Brian, they've got a team working together, building a case. We might even have for the first time ever, Mission Pro Court, where we're going to actually see what punishment should Shay Carmichael be found guilty, and will there be a judge? Will you, the Mission Pro family, be the jury and decide what will be Shay Carmichael's fate for this transgression? And should you return it, or as you said, and as Matthew said in the chat, is it a finders keepers rule? I mean,
the finders keepers law. I mean, it's a both way street.
We've seen it
Let's
with
see.
the
I would love to see what the mission court has to say and the lawyers they'll bring to the table.
yes, yes. Now, but if you think about it, like with the Money in the Bank rules, I mean, Money in the Bank rule. I mean, whoever has the briefcase,
The
right?
title top, wouldn't it just be used once?
Yes. So at this point, is it up for grabs? I don't know what's going to happen, or does there have to be a formal match for the Mission Pro Cup? Find out soon. It'll be tuned in to an upcoming edition of either On a Mission or Mission Pro Spotlight for more details. We'll keep you posted on this continuing breaking story, and you, the Mission Pro family, will help decide the fate of Shay Carmichael and what should happen. So stay tuned. MPW court. Ching ching.
Oh, you did the Law and Order sound. I love you already.
Yes. Ching. Where there's going to be a whole Law and Order moment. I have a video I made, but I can't do it for copyright purposes because it's got the Law and Order music. But check out the video I posted to Mission Pro Wrestling for the Law and Order
court. The Mission Pro Court.
Yes, the Mission Pro Court, Law and Order, coming soon. Excited to find out someone is getting a chinga. I don't know. Someone might get a chancla, I think is
chancla. You could get a chancla from me, maybe.
We need to have that. Should be a match. Nahir versus Shay Carmichael with a chancla suspended above the ring, and whoever can get the chancla first gets to use it.
I feel like grandmas should also be involved in this match. Like for Puerto Ricans, grandmas with chanclas is pretty much like a rite of passage.
They're trained to be deadly with those things.
Look, when my grandmother passed away, her chanclas. This was like in tragedy. My family finds humor. When my grandmother passed away, one of the first questions, forget inheritance, whatever. One of the first questions was, "Who's staying with a chancla?"
Oh,
because those chanclas were deadly.
It's like in Japanese culture they have the bushido, the samurai swords, or
yeah, we got the chanclas.
She got the chancla,
and like the accuracy, she would throw that thing and it would just boom. Like, oh my god! Like I want that accuracy in my life.
Have you seen the Hispanic horror movie where the Mike Myers shows up and walks into the kitchen and the guy's washing dishes and he turns around and he goes, "What have you done?" He looks down, he's tracked in mud at like the killer, and he goes, You don't understand, she's gonna be so ticked. And she turns around and there's Mamacita there with the chancla and her face. She's got the face on. You gotta check it. Go look up Hispanic Halloween.
You just gave me something to watch. Awesome.
If you think you're afraid of Mike Myers, you haven't seen Abuela with
Abuela. You've never seen Abuela with her chancla. You're ruining her kitchen. How dare you?
It's brutal. It's brutal. But let's get to some more news. Clash at the Castle. What a tremendous moment in Scotland. And I gotta say, I say this not to be divisive. And I think things are happening where it's such a great time to be a wrestling fan, such a great time to be a wrestler. Women's wrestling is continuing to get elevated and mainstream. I'm loving all this. Vince McMahon had a reputation for having hometown people lose in their hometown and really kind of not getting over. I think we saw a little bit of a difference here. I feel like they really did honor Scotland. And so there's a couple of the like, even though Piper didn't come up with the victory, she looked tremendous. And we'll go in depth a little bit further and a little bit later about that match, but she looked tremendous. The crowd was behind her. We also have new tag team champions.
Oh, that was so much fun. And the result, I don't think anyone was expecting it.
Not at all. And I wasn't expecting Shayna Baszler to take the pin either. But it's just really I
I
think
feel
that
like Shane is on a losing streak right now.
Mhm.
And I feel like after you get those, it's like an introspection to any wrestler. So I like to think this is going to be like a learning moment. I feel like we're missing the savage, the beast that Shayna Baszler was back in NXT. I
yeah.
feel like everybody seems to forget who Shayna Baszler was before she went to the main roster.
Yeah, and they tried to make her a vampire or something at first when they called her up. I didn't understand that. The Shayna Baszler, and we're seeing that too. We saw that with Lola Vice. Even though she lost there too. I think I love the storyline when a gifted wrestler takes a lot of losses, and then they continue. They start to change their attitude a little bit, and I think we're
Oh
getting
yeah,
back
I feel like
to
that's going to be her ultimate villain origin story.
yep. And I think we're going to see that badass Shayna Baszler come on. Brian asked in the chat, "Are we going to see Bianca and Jade break up already?" I
I
don't
don't
want them
think
to
so.
break up. I don't want them to. What do you think?
I think it's too soon for that breakup.
Yeah.
I think Bianca and Jay need to be together a little bit more in order for that breakup to hurt.
Yeah.
Think of relationships, except situationships. Those make you cry. But like the longer you're connected to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
the longer the pain is when they leave or when they betray you.
Yeah.
So in order for, at least for me, in order for that to work out, I feel like they need to spend more time together to establish themselves. I mean, I feel like they already established their great tag team. They got the titles for a while,
Mm-hmm.
but Jade's recently started wrestling, like since the Rumble, which she's been in like 6 months in WWE.
Yep. And they just recently won the tag championships before it. You're absolutely right. You think about some of the best tag team breakups, some of the most heart-wrenching ones. You think of Shawn Michaels when he kicked Marty Jannetty through the glass. You think about like when Christian and Edge having their feud. You think about all these turnabouts. That's what makes these feuds really pop and really mean something. And so I think you're right. I think there needs to be more of a build up to their friendship so that you can pull the plug later on. And
if you think about it,
yeah,
this was basically when the couple have their first fight.
yeah,
That loss. Oh, so sorry, my
that's
phone
right.
went out. I got too excited and the phone was like.
It happens. It happens to me too.
So, to me, that was the comparison of like a couple's first fight.
Yes.
So, I don't think people should break up on the first fight, on the first loss.
It's cool to plant the seed. I think that's good. Plant the seed, but you got to water that seed. You can't plant the seed and then expect to pull the strawberries out the next day. You got to let it. You got to let it grow. I think a lot of us saw the way Jade came off that top rope. I think
it was rough.
It was rough, and botches happen. I think they covered it pretty well. Jade still is, she's not a rookie, but she's still, learning how to, she hasn't been.
She's learning the ropes, no pun intended.
Yes. She's learning the ropes, and she hasn't really done those top rope stuff before much. When she was in AEW, she was much more of just a powerhouse. She would do the kick. She'd do
we said the same thing. I'm like, we both said powerhouse.
Yes. She's exact. Chris, we're like this.
We're connected.
I'm the Chico de Hola Hola, I guess.
If you come out to the show and you say that, you're accompanying me to the ring.
All right,
I'm done.
The Chico de Hola Hola. Hey.
Yeah, it's happening.
There we go.
Stop me going to administration. Can you accompany me to the?
But I also think it's important too that neither Bianca or Jade took the pin, because they can have an argument for, you know, a quick rematch. And Isla and her tag team partner
Alba Fry.
Alba Fryer did such a great job. But I think there's so many storylines coming out of this, and I think we'll see. I don't want them to lose the titles quick either,
No.
because I don't want this just to be, hey, we won because we were in Scotland, and now in 2 weeks on TV they're going to lose.
And they've been an established tag team for a while. It wouldn't make sense for them to just lose the title on their first defense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I'm loving the storyline with Otis and Maxine Dupree.
It does give me a deja vu with Mandy Rose.
Yes.
But this story, it feels more organic.
Yes, thank you. Much more organic.
Exactly.
Well, because it's, you know, back when it was, you know, when Otis and Mandy Rose, you know, you had Tucker. They were all baby faces at the time. You know, there wasn't a drama. Where now Maxine and Otis and Tozawa, they've all been abused by this now, you know, this guy that has forgotten what family's all about. Of course, he paid the price. We'll talk about that in a second. But I thought this was such a great moment. Everybody was cheering for this. You know, Otis works so much better as a baby face, so much better with the beard. And I popped for this. I think, you know, Maxine Dupree playing her role fantastically as well. I think this is a great moment, and I'm excited to see where this goes. But yeah, like you said, it's much more organic because it plays also into the drama with Chad Gable.
It works for everybody, not just for those two.
Yes.
It works for Gable, who's going into great lengths to be the world's biggest hater.
Yeah, but you know, there's a price for that. And sometimes you pay that price earlier than you think, because
he did. He actually did pay for it.
He did. I want to take a moment. Of course, what everybody's talking about is the debut of the Wyatt Six, and the play on words, SICKS, not just the number 6, like sickos, the 6. But I want to focus, because this is about women's wrestling. I want to focus on the personification of Sister Abigail, played by Nikki Cross. This is the role Nikki Cross was born to play in this role. I did not like the Nikki Ash character. I did like her with Alexa Bliss, but if you ever check out her stuff when she was with Sanity, when she was like,
you went right through what I was gonna say. Insanity.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What are your thoughts? Do you like that? Do you think that this has potential to be one of her best breakout characters?
I think again, a lot of people forget who she was when they did the Nikki Ash persona, because again, they like to go back to nostalgia. That's why they did that thing with Nikki Ash and Molly Holly when she came out of Mighty Molly. So giving her a comedic character, yes, she pulled it off. Like, she did what she had to do. I respect that. Like, if you're able to pull off a character that's very questionable, I think you're off to a great start.
Very well
said. But Nikki was born to play these characters that are so out of pocket, in the sense that are so Machiavellical, so dark. I feel like that's where she truly shines.
I know a secret.
You know a secret?
No, that's what she used to say when she was in NXT.
I was like, you know,
Black and a bunch of them in NXT, when she was playing the crazy Nikki, she would really just kind of, you know.
Yeah. So giving her this back, giving her back her essence as what she's used to, like give the top tier.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great. Nikki really needed that.
Yes, and you talk. We've talked about this before, where people play like a very an exaggeration of the character they really are. Like La Chica del Hola Hola. I mean, come on, with that smile, how are you gonna? You can't. It's gonna be hard for you to pull off a heel when you're like, I don't know. I bet you could. I bet you could.
You'd be surprised.
I bet you could pull off a heel very well.
I'm world's best anti-hero. I could pull it off.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could. I stand corrected on that. But like Pepe says in the chat, I loved Crazy Nikki, and we're getting back.
See, he gets it.
Crazy Nikki, and I think this is going to be tremendous. I don't know if you watch the clip at the very end when after they blow out the lantern, there's like a quick flash of Nikki like almost coming through the screen like the ring. So yeah. Question for you though. Where do you see Alexa Bliss fitting in with this whole thing when she returns? Does she also join the Wyatt Six, or is she going to come back as a more earlier version of Alexa Bliss? What are your thoughts, and what would you like to see?
I feel like Alexa did a great job when she was alongside Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure where I want to see her. She's a very convincing heel.
Yes.
Like when she was just this bratty girl, like before she became Sister Abigail. But she's coming back to a roster has a lot of brats right now.
True.
And the likes of Trippany Stratton, even Chelsea Green, a little bit of the entitlement thing going on.
Yeah.
You got Miss NXT and Ariana Grace.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of girls who bring that persona that she used to be. I feel like Alexa could come in for the Wyatt Six. It could work. Why does it always only have to be one woman on a stable?
True. Very true. And Nikki,
and if you remember, Sister Abigail had a doll.
There you go. She's the doll.
Could be.
And you count, there's 5, she would be number 6 of the Wyatt Six. I mean, granted, I think they were implying
the lantern kind of, it's the remembrance of Bray Wyatt, which
yes.
I appreciated a lot out of. And he's always going to be there with them. And also somebody else mentioned, I think it was the Hammer.
Yes.
Brody Lee.
Yep. I was going to say Brody Lee, because that was that's Eric Rowan.
Mm-hmm.
With the, they did so well with this intro.
It hurt, right? Like it was like, yeah, there was chaos, but like you couldn't help but shed a tear or two because of like the way they still, have them present in their wrestling lives.
Yeah. I thought it was beautiful. And if you get a chance, you see if you can catch Jey Uso's interview post Raw. He talks about when they brought up he goes, you guys can have the Fireflies. I don't want any drama.
Yeah, I saw it.
He's like, I don't want any beef with these guys. Y'all are cool.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to be a part of this massacre. No, thank you.
We got a fun fact from Brian here. Fun fact: Nikki Cross and Thunder Rosa used to be partners at the Odio Tai for Stardom. Wow,
that's a super fun fact.
Could Nikki Cross make an appearance at Mission Pro sometime? Oh.
I mean, with everything that's going on, for example, Roxanne Perez did make an appearance for Reality of Wrestling.
Yes.
AJ Styles going to Japan. Io Sky as well. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
I think that would be tremendous. Anything and I'm just because there's been a lot of divisiveness. AEW, WWE, TNA, the Indies. I'm starting to see, I want to see if you see this too, that and I don't want to put it on like Vince McMahon or anything, but with him out of the picture, there does seem to be a little bit more of a truce. At least, I mean, definitely one of the things that people don't realize is that the wrestlers are all friends. So even though people are yelling at each other online, the wrestlers know each other. But I mean, I think we're starting to see a lot of that rigidness loosen up with the way that wrestling is becoming. Are you seeing the forbidden doors or the prohibited portal, if you will?
Have you seen everyone's reactions every time someone
Yes.
I know we're here, Jordan Grace went, it was, oh my God. I was very sad that Tatum Paxley didn't get the same reaction because TNA doesn't know her as well.
Yep.
But I mean, we should have seen it coming because she did try to steal the title when they had the match.
Yeah.
It was right there. We didn't see it, and I'm like, how dare we did not see it?
Well, I don't know. I think that there's a lot to there's a lot to be said about the effort that I like the way that they presented Jordan Grace. They didn't present her as like a squash. I think in the old WWE would have just brought her in and then squashed her, but they made her feel like a champion. They made her come in.
She is a champion.
Yes.
She has the heart of a champion. She has the gold of a champion, and she has the string of a champion, and she has everything. She's the whole package. And I am very glad that she got to prove that on NXT, both in her 2 NXT matches.
I think we're going to see a lot more TNA crossover. I mean, recently, who's the guy from Scotland that showed up at the Battle Royal recently?
Joe Hendry?
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Well, you said his name. Of course he's going to appear.
He appeared. I'm not even mad about it.
I think that was cool too. I mean, yeah, that's another. That's
and the else. Pop he got again, and I'm sorry, coming back to Jordan Grace, but I love the fact that she posted a picture in social media with Evie Nile, and I love that they have this. They looked very similar.
Yeah.
So it can definitely work. Her coming into the tag division as well, even going for the TNA, the tag team championships. Or just they could, like they said, they could take over the women's championship.
Yep, Frankie Kazarian in NXT. I think there's so much potential. I think that would be tremendous.
There's so much things that could be done, and something we never even saw the possibility of actually happening.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to want to know what you think. How soon do you think we might get a WWE AEW crossover?
I feel like it's a tough question. Let's just put it out there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's small steps that we're getting. Maybe I feel like they should definitely work for it though, because I feel like we all love wrestling.
Yeah.
Why do we have to just pick one place?
Absolutely. And speaking of AEW, I want to talk a little bit about the AEW's women's division. A lot of stuff heating up. If you didn't get a chance to watch Collision, there is one match. Now, the controversy is some people think that this was the Thunder Rosa imposter, and it was really Thunder Rosa at Mission Pro. It goes back.
She was wrestling Diona. Ain't no way.
Now, I didn't like the outcome, but Thunder Rosa, I've never seen this before. I'm sure it's been done in the Indies. It's been done, and I just must not have seen it or remember. But Thunder Rosa using the table as a ramp to jump off of. Look at the air that Thunder has, and then slamming into Deonna Purrazzo. And the pop from that moment, and the pop that Thunder got at that crowd too. I was shocked that that Deonna was the one that walked away winning, and she's trying to say that this is over now. She's moving on. I don't
wouldn't
know.
be so sure.
I don't
You'll
know.
never know.
I thought Thunder and Deonna did fantastic. I thought Thunder looked fantastic in this match, and that spot again when she jumped and just landed right into the trash can, the trash can,
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. I mean, that's what people were talking about. That's what people were talking about. They weren't talking about Deonna. Yay, Deonna. I mean, some people were.
I feel like we often have the misconception of people always remembering who won, when at the end of the day, we remember the moments.
Yes.
A moment that like that, it's not going to be forgotten.
Mm-mm. And
especially with a freaking good picture like that one.
Look at the air that she. I mean,
like, bro, she
looks
looks so cool. I wish I looked that cool.
And you got to go back. You got to see it where she just lines it right up. And I even remember watching it live. I go, she's not gonna. And as soon as I said that, she went running up that ramp and boom.
She said, she can't. Oh, and she's like, oh, I will.
Absolutely. So kudos, and you absolutely make a very good point. And that's one of the things I like about a good structured match, a good match where regardless of the outcome, what do people remember? They remember the moments. They're like, for example, there was a triple threat in Mission Pro. It was Jasmine Allure, Hala Dead, and La Rosa Negra. And they did this Tree of Woe, like I don't even know how you have to watch it to see it, but they did this triple suplex kind of thing, and with all three of them at the same time. I can't even just figure out how they did it. And regardless, I can't tell you who won the match. I think Holiday won, but that's what I remember from that match.
You remember the suplex. Again, it's about memorable moments in wrestling.
It is. And memorable performances, memorable characters like Toni Storm. Toni Storm, when she was in NXT, did anybody ever think we would get this version of Toni Storm?
I feel like this is her best version, and I don't ever want her to change it. I love it way too much. I don't think we've seen a character like that in a really long time, and I feel like that's why it's so welcoming to the audience. It's both a comedic but serious when she has to be character.
That's right, darling. And she doesn't mind throwing the shoe.
The shoe.
This was tremendous. And this picture, this illustrates, I love the way that they've acknowledged, Mariah May's past, and they've really inserted her into this whole thing. And that's something that I used to, again, old WWE, I didn't like when they would bring somebody in and not acknowledge that, hey, they were these huge people. They were like, oh, there's the rookie. He's not he or she isn't a rookie. They've been in the independent scene for years, or they were in New Japan.
Time, yeah.
And then, they bring in with this backstory with Mina and Toni, and I love this. And of course, we also saw the spoiler, Saraya and Harley Cameron show up, and what looks like their new Outcast friend, Anna Jay. I've said a lot on the show that the Outcasts need a third member. What are your thoughts on Anna Jay joining up with Saraya and Harley Cameron?
I have very mixed feelings. I feel like Saraya hasn't truly found herself because she's always with people.
With a stable, yeah.
Yeah, when Outcast began, it was her, Ruby Soho, and Toni. Then Toni was out, Ruby got pregnant, and was basically shunned out. And now she's coming back with a new group, and it's a recurring thing for Saraya, even back in her WWE days. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
I feel like they're always caging her into these things. Like, she needs to be more managing when we were used to seeing her, do a lot more.
Yeah,
and I understand because of what happened to her past. Mm-hmm. But I feel like she truly hasn't found her version yet, because she keeps making these posses when she should just realize that she's always going to be better on her own.
Yeah, it's almost like a safety net, and I wonder how much of
Mhm.
that is like. I wonder how much of that's her doing, or what. Like, is she just not 100% sure about getting back into the ring by herself, or what? What she? Yeah, you're right. She needs to kind of define her. I see what you're. I see what your point. She needs to kind of define herself more, rather than just, hey, I'm Saraya. I used to be Paige. But I will say this: her on the sidelines interacting with the fans, even the fans that are rude, the way she put that dude on blast, and when that was harassing, that earlier had made fun of Sky Blue and was making fun of them, and she just brought the camera right over and said, ladies, never date this guy, or she was calling him out. She does seem like she's
I
a leader.
respect that. I do respect that.
Calling out bad behavior. I think that's fantastic. So, and they're building up a trios match, but Saraya might be getting her opportunity to really prove herself, because with they revealed the brackets for the Owen Hart tournament, and already, of course, you've got we saw that Nyla Rose fell to Chris Statlander, which again that was another match where you had the hometown favorite. Nyla was the hometown favorite because it was in Fairfax, Virginia, near where she lives. The pop she got was fantastic. She deserves that pop. Just go on Twitter and follow Nyla if you haven't already to find out why she's so beloved in the wrestling community. Because her Twitter is crazy. But Statlander, of course, won. These are the entrants. You've got Willow versus Serena Deeb, and the winner will face Statlander. You've got Deonna Purrazzo, aka Snooki, is going to take on Hikaru Shida. And you've got Mariah May versus Saraya. Just at a glance, your gut feeling, what do you think about this tournament? Where do you see this going?
I feel like I'm not belittling Serena Deeb, of course not. I feel like we should see what's going to happen if Willow and Chris Statlander, got in the ring together.
Yep.
I feel like there's a lot of tension there that you could get a story out of, even if, whatever happens. I love that Mariah May is wrestling Saraya. Unfortunately, my only feeling in this match is that match is going to have a lot of,
Yeah. Well, especially what we just saw.
Exactly.
You're gonna have.
I feel like that's just going to, match could end up in a DQ. Match could end up, could be a possibility. So many, bystanders in the match.
Yep. And a double count of giving the winner of Deonna Purrazzo and Hikaru Shida a bye.
Again, God knows, I'm seeing Deonna there. She says it's over. I don't think Thunder Rosa thinks it's over. Maybe she cost her that match. You never know.
I think I believe in my heart it's not over, and I'd love to see it. Now, again, pulling back the kayfabe curtain, I have tremendous respect for Deonna and Thunder. I mean, I thought they put on a tremendous match, but putting the kayfabe curtain back, Snooki's going down. Because she's the Jersey girl, she does the whole thing, But and I'm a huge Hikaru Shida fan, and I think my picks. I would like to know your picks. Who do you see in the finals in this bracket?
I think Statlander's coming to the final. I think she's defeating either one of them that comes up. I think the other side is the problem for me.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things going on there. You got Deonna with Thunder. You got Mariah with Tony. You got Saraya with the other outcasts. There's a lot of things in factor for me to decide what's going to happen.
Yep.
It could be crazy, and just the three I mentioned, because of the whole things that have that they have going on for them, that could just distract them from the actual goal. Then we get a surprise, and Deonna gets disqualified, and these two don't get a result, and it's just I always forget. I'm trying to remember the name. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Well, you have Diana, Hikaru Shida, Mariah
Yeah,
May,
her,
Saraya. Yep.
her.
I can see
Lucida.
Hikaru Shida versus Chris Statlander in the finals,
I
and I
could see
think
that
that would be a tremendous match.
because I don't think any of the other side instead have their full like eyes on the prize.
Yeah. I'm a little concerned too that Thunder isn't in this tournament, but again, that's just everybody knows my bias. Even though she calls me Myndrunner, it's the term of endearment. I understand. I'll wear it, but I'm excited for it. I love that they're getting the tournament again, and I love to see these kind of things. I'd like for fun sometime you and I to do maybe do a fantasy tag team tournament or something where you and I pick. We pick like WWE and AEW wrestlers and make a tag team tournament or something for women and see who we pick.
Agreed. We could do that.
We decide maybe that'll be coming soon. We'll set that up.
We'll just make a segment that's called the fantasy booking section, and it's just like the whole roster, women roster, and we're just picking
fantasy booking with Ola. All right, before we get this, so we got one thing we got to talk about. We've got to talk about our banger of the week because we haven't given it justice. Let's talk about the banger of the week that you and I both agree. Wow, what a showcase. It's time.
I think, and you and I.
Hold on to your Kulos Mission Pro fans. Lock on, it's the banger of the week.
I'm sorry, the music cut you off there. Sorry about that.
Fine. I mean, we both know who we're talking about. I think, boom.
Oh my goodness.
That match had everything. It had a story to tell, the hometown hero. It had the comedic value with Chelsea Green, and back as a luchadora, Chelsea Verde.
Yes.
And the amount of respect, and not only that, I feel like people tend to forget how great Piper Niven is in the ring.
Yes.
And this was her opportunity to showcase and remember any doubters and any haters, which she's capable of. And she got the respect nod from Bailey after the match. So there's a lot of things going on here. And I truly appreciated that this was a recurring storyline, Chelsea coming in, and she was always like I want to have a girl like that's as real as Chelsea Green, I'm by my side in the ring, because that girl was ruthless and she was passionate about helping her friend.
She's like both iconics in one person,
Yes, she is.
And it's so she's hilarious, and the stuff that she was great on the indies too. But she never, when she first was at WWE and was called up, she didn't quite get to shine like she is now. She is completely shining, and Lucha Verde there, or Chelsea Verde showing up later on. That was
Chelsea Verde is a vibe.
Oh, I love Chelsea Verde, and we need a Chelsea Verde variant action figure. So if you're listening, Jab,
with that outfit, please. If it's not with that outfit, I don't want it.
It comes with the beret, and then it comes with the same outfit, but it comes with the lucha mask.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, Ringside Collectibles, make it happen. Shout out to Chelsea. I mean, again, Chelsea just really, just like Matt Cardona really reinvented himself on the indies. Chelsea just really is running with this character. But to talk a little bit about Piper to me is kind of one of those things where I think sometimes, people forget that forget about her skill. You look at like a JD Drake, who at first glance, you're thinking he's the cable guy, Larry the Cable Guy from the Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
Yeah.
And then he goes and does a moonsault. The stuff that Piper was doing, she was crushing it. And you pointed out there's that look that where the two wrestlers are looking at each other, and she got the nod from Bayley, like, we crushed it. You know, it to me, I love that look. Like the one I remember distinctly, one of my first times I noticed that, it was 2001 SummerSlam, Rob Van Dam versus Jeff Hardy. They had a ladder match, and they did a power bomb off the top of the ladder, and Rob Van Dam won. But there's this moment that the camera caught both Rob Van Dam and Jeff Hardy just looking at each other from across the ring and going,
Respect.
Like that. Respect.
That was a great, that's when, you had a great dance partner with you.
Yes. How important is it too? I mean, because, you could be the best wrestler in the world, and there are some that can wrestle a mop and make it look legit. But to have a dance partner, you got to have that other dance partner to really put on such a great show. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like you're only as good as the person you're wrestling in a match. And to me, it's always been about, getting to show why the other person belongs in the ring.
Yeah.
It's not just about me. It's about the two of us and how we're going to make this for the fans.
I think you're absolutely right. And I'm looking forward to you making some magic with your dance partner on August when you come to San Antonio. Also, what have you got coming up next? What's coming up for you more immediately?
A lot. I have a lot, but in a good way.
By the way, this is your Instagram, X, and YouTube. Rizzo Cesar
Cosmos. You're almost there. Rizzo Cesar Cosmos.
There you go. Rizzo Cesar Cosmos. Sorry. Again, I'm working on it.
You're fine. Again, if you said the Hola Hola, you gave me the entrance, you're coming out of the ring with me. So June 30th, back at Deep South Wrestling. July, I make my debut for Bell to Bell in New Jersey, an all women's promotion as well. I'm very big on women's promotion. So this is like Mission Pro Wrestling is going to be my third ever, like, all women's promotions. I'm very big on that.
Yes.
So I'm very excited, and I'm going to Bell. I'm going to the Wrestling Independent. I'm going to Supernova Wrestling on the 19th. I'm back at Wrestling Open. There's a date I can't say yet, but it's very big. I never thought I would get that spot. So I'm like, same as Mission Pro. I was like, what?
Yes.
I'm going to Championship Entertainment Productions on 27, and then I'm back on my school promotion, Espiritu Pro Wrestling Dojo, the 28th. It's not announced yet, but hey, surprise, surprise.
Surprise, exclusive.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you. I'm looking forward to seeing you more in action. Looking forward to seeing you in action at Heatwave. And, again, that's a testament to your hard work, getting these matches, getting that call back. That's huge. Getting these opportunities, and you just keep being La Chica del. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Let's have you back again in a couple weeks. Maybe we'll do our fantasy tournament or something.
I want that. I want the Hola Hola fantasy booking, and it's just a whole roster for us to choose and nitpick on it.
We'll do that. We'll set up a special time in a couple weeks. Till then, it's always a pleasure marking out with you about women's wrestling. For La Chica del Hola Hola, this is Myndrunner, sometimes Myndrunner. But
depends on the day.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time. And Bobby, thank you so much, Bobby. Bobby, who's leading our Dynamite Download draft right now. He is crushing it right now. And, of course, Pepe, stay safe and hydrated. We're with you. Love you, Pepe. Hope the leg gets better. Everybody take care, and we will see you later.